It'll be Jake Westbrook making start number 9. He has pitched very well. His last couple of starts, 29 ground ball outs for Jake. And he had a complete game in Baltimore where he just dazzled. 9 hits, gave up a run, and that run coming in the 9th inning was a solo home run to Luke Scott over to left center field. Was hoping he'd get that shutout, but he pitched very well, and he's back on track, and he's going to go up against another hot pitcher this evening.
And Orlando Cabrera steps in, ready to get us underway. And ball 1. There's a called strike, and that evens the count at 1-1. Jake Westbrook has been a ground ball machine, especially his last 2 outings, and that is a great sign for the sinker baller.
Well, for Jake, even in his last start, had 8 strikeouts, which is a season high. But he had such a good changeup, and that breaking ball was part of that as well. So he got ahead early and got him to swing and miss late.
Popped foul on the right side, and into the seats it goes. And in Jake Westbrook's last 2 starts, there have only been 4 fly ball outs to the outfield. 4 in his last 2 starts. And the 2-2. Full count. Brandon Phillips on deck, then Joey Votto here in the first for Cincinnati. And the payoff pitch to Cabrera is a tapper towards third. Kicks foul right in front of the bag. And Cabrera will come back and do it again. Orlando Cabrera made his first 26 starts batting in the 2-hole in the order. But he's batted leadoff now in 12 of his last 13 starts for Dusty Baker's club. And the payoff pitch is hammered to left. Back goes Kearns. The former Red reaches up and makes the grab for out number 1. We hit that right on the button.
Can't hit it much harder, but you know what? Jake wasn't going to walk him. He's going to make him hit his way on. Kearns got turned around a little bit, but he wouldn't turn his back to the infield, and he ends up making a nice catch anyway.
That'll bring up Brandon Phillips. Hitting just .258 coming in, but starting to pick it up in his last 20 games. That average up to .308. With 9 multi-hit efforts.
You know, it usually seems that Brandon starts off slowly, but when he picks it up come June time, right around interleague time, it seems like he picks up his tempo or his pace. But this is the first time I've seen him hit in the number 2 hole for a while. He's always number 3 or 4, or has been.
Well, he's played in every inning this year but 1. He missed the 9th inning of a game against the Cubs on May 7th. Other than that, he's Mr. Durable. A little slow tapper. This can be tough play. And Phillips will have an infield hit.
Yeah, don't even throw it. That's exactly right. Well, the sinker's working. Cabrera did it, except it went foul. This time Phillips does it, and it stays fair for a hit. Let's take a look at the Home Depot doing more on defense, Indians' defensive lineup. In the outfield, it's Kearns, Crow, and Chu, left to right. On the infield, it's Peralta, Donald, Valbuena, and Branyan, third to first. Behind the plate is Lou Marson. The Indians are 6th in the league. They have made 25 errors, but they've turned the most double plays at 54. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Left-handed hitting Joey Votto steps in with a runner at first and 1 out. And looks at a ball outside. Votto leads this Reds team with 10 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Tops on the ball club. And a foul ball by Votto. Kind of ironic, I suppose, that Votto, his last name, sounds like Lotto, We're battling for the Ohio Lottery Cup here tonight. We'll have the director of the Ohio Lottery on with us in a little while.
Well, that cup won't be handed out until we get down south to Cincinnati. What's that? In June.
That's if somebody wins it, right?
That's right.
I suppose theoretically we could split.
Well, that's true.
Then do we go to total runs scored for the high tiebreaker?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to ask.
Phillips' stutter step took off, and then the ball in a check swing is rolled out. And Westbrook jumps on it quickly to record out number 2.
Hitting a few numbers tonight, aren't they?
I don't think he meant to swing at that. I'll have to look again at the replay. I wasn't looking at the monitor. I was looking from up top. I couldn't tell if he tried to stop his swing on this. Yeah, he kind of got caught in between, didn't he?
That's that cutter that came in on his hands. You see, he saw the late break. He thought it might have been a sinker, and then no, you didn't want to swing at that one.
So a runner in scoring position with 2 down now for Cincinnati. In these situations on the year, as a team, Cincinnati batting .304. And Phillips bolts for third. The throw, and they got him.
Not even close.
He is dead meat, and the inning is over. So Brandon Phillips thrown out trying to steal, and now the Indians will take their turn at bat when we come back. Progressive Insurance. Progressive, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. And for the Tribe, it's Crow, Chu, and Hafner at the top. Austin Kearns, Russell Brandon, and Johnny Peralta riding a 10-game hitting streak in the middle, followed by Luis Valbuena, Lou Marson, and Jason Donald.
Bronson Arroyo making his 9th start this year. He has a 3-2 record, a .478 earned run average, but he has pitched well in his last 2 starts, 2-0 with a 1.69 ERA. So he has been very good.
Sidearm slinging right there from Arroyo for strike 1.
There's his two-seamer. He's got that two-seam fastball. He's got the changeup that he uses a lot, and he's got that curveball as well. Not overpowering, but he just tries to keep you off balance.
And a weak tapper hit toward Brandon Phillips at second. 1 out.
Let's look at the Reds' defense. They are rated 2nd in the National League. It's Nix, Stubbs, and Bruce in the outfield. It's Roland, Cabrera, Phillips, and Votto on the infield. Ryan Hannigan behind the plate, catching Bronson Arroyo. They have only allowed 7 unearned runs all year long and have only made 20 errors as a team. So they've done very, very well defensively. They had an 11-game streak where they did not make an error.
Shin-Soo Choo with a high drive, right center field. Stubbs and Bruce back out of room. It's out of here. Shin-Soo Choo with his 5th home run of the year, and the Indians bolt to a 1-0 lead. That's the 7th home run allowed by Bronson Arroyo in 53 innings of work so far this year.
Well, the first swing in that number 2 hole, I think Choo likes it. 24th home run by the Indians. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. And that was a fastball. Looked like it was down middle of the plate. Choo just had that nice swing and drilled it into right center field for his 5th home run.
It's the first home run out of the 2-hole for the Indians this year. Travis Hafner looks at a ball outside. He's batting in the 3-hole. Hafner did not appear as the 3rd hitter at all last year. But prior to that, he had lots of experience batting 3rd. Arroyo slings it in there for a strike to even the count.
That was the second home run Arroyo gave up to a left-hander this year. 5 of them have come off right-handed batters. Lefties are hitting .286. Righties just .205.
Meanwhile, for Chu, it's been almost a month since his last home run.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In fact, it's been a little bit longer than a month as Hafner will ground to first for out number 2. His last home run came April 18th against the White Sox. Umpiring crew tonight, Mark Carlson calling the balls and strikes. Angel Campos at first, Jeff Nelson at second, and Larry Vanover down at third. 2 down now for Austin Kearns. And Arroyo paints the outside corner at the knees for a strike. Kearns, who started his career with the Cincinnati Reds. And it's quickly 0-2. And the 0-2. Little tapper back to the mound. Arroyo with the flip, and that will do it. But Shin-Soo Chu's 5th home run of the year. His first in over a month as the Tribe on top, 1-0.
Brought to you by Subway. Play hard, eat fresh. By Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
Second inning here at Progressive Field. Indians and the Reds. Jake Westbrook will face Scott Rowland, Jay Bruce, and Jonny Gomes. Rowland with a roller to short. Jason Donald throws him out. And one quick out here in inning number 2. I'll bring up Jay Bruce. Left-handed hitter. And the Indians will shift 3 on the right side for Bruce, playing to really pull the ball on the ground. And the 0-1 is a little bit too far inside, and that evens the count up.
This is a Cincinnati team that has been on quite a roll. They have won 16 of their last 23 games. They have 10 victories in their last at-bat and 10 wins in one-run games. So they can come from behind. They don't feel, at a loss. Their pitching's been very solid. They've been hitting with runners in scoring position as well. So they're playing very good baseball.
Back to center field, and there's Trevor Crowe. 2 down. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Friedman, Damiano & Smith. When you're injured, depend on them. Find Friedman, Damiano & Smith online at fdslaw.com. Well, you know about the injuries to the Indians by now. I think the big news for Cincinnati, obviously Edinson Volquez, a talented pitcher. Tommy John surgery. And there's a chance, they're hopeful anyway, that there's a chance he could still pitch before this season is over, but we know how that goes.
Well, he's serving a 50-game suspension for drugs of some kind while he's on the DL, to me.
Which is odd.
That's very odd. How can you do that? I would think, okay, when you're ready to play, then you serve your suspension.
Doesn't seem like much of a suspension if you're suspended when you can't play.
That's exactly right. It's not a suspension. He's coming off a surgery.
Other than you don't get paid, I'm assuming? Maybe that's
that could be it. Yeah, you don't get paid. It doesn't
hurt your pocketbook, but doesn't hurt the ball club. Other than, they're already without his services.
Right, exactly right, because of the surgery.
Jonny Gomes looks at the ball outside, and it's 2-2. Now the 2-2 from Westbrook. And Gomes again gets a piece to stay alive in there.
There was a guy that was, a free agent this offseason, and he never signed till sometime in February.
Right before, after spring training actually had already started.
He lives out in the Scottsdale area in the wintertime, and, he didn't sign till late. He kept going, and, he wanted to always go back to Cincinnati.
Swung on and missed, and Jake Westbrook sets him down 1-2-3 here in the second. Indians lead it 1-0. Bottom of the second inning. Russell Branyan, Jonny Peralta, and Luis Valbuena for the Tribe. And Branyan takes a first pitch strike.
Watching Russell lately and talking about yesterday, he looked like he was caught in between a lot with his rhythm, his timing. That one he wasn't.
Liner to right field. Jay Bruce can't cut it off, or he does cut it off, just barely, and in doing so holds Branyan to a long leadoff single.
Well, he was smooth and quick to the ball on that time.
Here's yesterday's great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips. Jonny Peralta with a home run for the Indians, one of the few bright spots in yesterday's ball game. Relax, you're at Great Clips, and Jonny Peralta has been a bright spot offensively of late. He's hit in 10 straight games. Got that batting average up near the 250 mark. Another look at Russell Branyan's opposite field, or I should say a double to right field here. And Jay Bruce does a nice job to hustle over and just did cut that ball off with the backhand.
Well, much better swing. He was caught in between yesterday. That was short and quick to the baseball for Russell.
1-1 the count. Good off-speed pitch from Bronson Arroyo. Since April 24th, Jonny Peralta has hit .300 average, raising his overall numbers from a $122 up to the current mark of 246.
Yeah, it's an annual battle every year, getting through the month of April and then having to start getting hot and play much better. Jonny just one home run shy of 100 in his career.
Russell Branyan, leadoff man at first base here in the second inning. And the pitch misses wide to even the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Peralta, and it's fouled away. Last year, at the end of the season, Bronson Arroyo went out about as strong as you can go. In each of his last 12 starts to end the year, he pitched at least 7 innings and allowed no more than 3 wrongs. It was the longest such streak by a Reds pitcher in the modern era.
Wow, that's consistency, boy. You go out there.
7 innings, 3 runs or less in your last 12 starts. I mean, that's grinding it out when, your arm's probably feeling like it's dragging on the ground. The 2-2, and Jonny a grounder to third. Rowland gets 1 at second, and Phillips easily turns 2. Bruce Drennan is taking his show on the road. All bets are off. We'll be live from Columbus on Thursday at the Frog, Bear, and Wild Boar, located in the Arena District across from Nationwide Arena. See Bruce out on the patio from there. Let's see. He'll be there from 3 until 6. And then at 6:30, we've got the Columbus Clippers and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. I'm not making this up.
You sure?
Live right here on STO, the Frog, Bear, and Wild Boar, and they're playing the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
There you go.
Might want to bring your hunting license if you're coming. 2 down for Luis Valbuena. Tell you one more thing about that streak that Arroyo had last year, Rick. Only 3 other pitchers in the last 20 years can boast those same numbers. How about this group? Kurt Schilling,
Jim Palmer,
Randy Johnson, and Greg Maddux.
Wow. That's being on some kind of roll.
Now, while Bronson Arroyo's been a good pitcher, you don't think of him in the same category as those 3 guys.
No, you certainly do not. I mean, he's steady and he's solid. His last 5 years, he's gone out there and given them over 200 innings in 32 starts every year.
Yeah. 220, 200, 210, 240, 204.
So he's been solid. I mean, the guy, he's an innings eater.
3-2 pitch. He loses Valbuena. And a 2-out base runner now for Lou Marson. Yeah, you talk about a manager's dream. When you know you can pencil the guy in for 30 to 35 starts.
Well, you give me 5 of those guys, and you know what? You take your chances. And Cincinnati, to this point, have only used 5 starting pitchers so far to start this year.
Arroyo has made 32 or more starts in 6 consecutive seasons. And that was the one thing, and I don't know that this is the right category to put Arroyo in, but I think back to Dave Burba. Steady, consistent, eat up innings, go out and make the starts. Now, he played on some great Indians teams offensively, but he won 15 games.
3 straight years.
Yeah.
He was here. Well, and Burba, the difference between these 2 guys, Burba could pitch out of the bullpen as well. He went back and forth in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew what it was like, but this guy's always been a starter.
Well, he did pitch out of the bullpen a little bit for Boston, though.
Okay, the 1 year.
Yeah, in 04 and 05, he pitched. I have to go back and look. I thought he pitched a little bit out of the bullpen. Maybe not. But you're right. Burba was a versatile guy, team guy, whatever you need me to do. Never complained. 1-1 pitch. Big bouncer to short. And Cabrera throws him out to end the inning. 2 complete from Progressive Field. And thanks to Shin Soo Choo's first inning homer, it's 1-0 Cleveland. Back here at Progressive Field, Indians on top 1-0 as we go to the 3rd inning of play. Bottom third of the order due up for Cincinnati. Laynce Nix, Ryan Hannigan, and Drew Stubbs. Jake Westbrook on the hill for the Tribe. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, and happy to be joined now by Kathy Burke, the director of the Ohio Lottery, and we're playing for the Ohio Lottery Cup, not only this weekend, but again we'll be playing down in Cincinnati in June, and great to have you here.
I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted that we can help fans all over Ohio enjoy this great game between these 2 wonderful teams.
Oh, and just as you arrive, the Reds offense shows up, and a home run from Laynce Nix ties the game at 1 apiece. You're instant offense.
Wow. That's called impact.
Well, this is obviously, just in terms of interleague baseball, this has been a great series. It's been great for the state of Ohio. Indians fans and Reds fans have certainly supported this series. When you look at the attendance, both ballparks. Now, this is just an easy match for the Ohio Lottery, I would imagine.
It's a great match for us. And what it helps us to do also is we bring out our teachers and our students that we're honoring, and everybody can honor them with us. They can have the benefit of bringing their friends and family to the ballpark. Our players can win tickets to come to the ballpark. They can take their non-winning Ohio Lottery tickets, and they can have a chance to attend one of the ball games. So it's really great.
Nice. That's nice to get them out there. Will you be joining us down in Cincinnati by chance?
I hope to join you. I'm going to take a look at my schedule that week, and I do hope to join you because it's wonderful that we have these 2 fabulous teams in Ohio and that they've had this Back and forth over the years. The Ohio Cup is kind of split, almost even. 32,
right,
31.
that's right. Oh, you've done your homework.
Slightly in favor of the Indians, but the Reds have a chance to make it up this year.
Ground ball to short. Jason Donald will throw out Hannigan for out number 1, and we'll bring up Drew Stubbs. Now, you were saying if you take your non-winning Ohio Lottery tickets, you can get a discount. I've got a lot of those non-winning tickets. A lot of them.
It's got to be a certain time period, but you can have the opportunity to win a ticket to one of these games. So
gotcha.
That's kind of exciting for the fans.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is, obviously, whenever you play the Ohio Lottery, you're helping to support education in Ohio. So that's what we're very proud of. All of our profit goes to support education. We're doing a lot of interesting things at the lottery. We're selling Powerball, which we brought that to Ohio, so Cincinnatians don't have to go over to Kentucky to play Powerball anymore. And that's a great thing for us, and we're just very excited to be part of everything that's happening here, not only at the ballparks, but around the state, in the schools. Very exciting.
Now, you basically oversee and manage an operation that brings in a couple of $1 billion a year in sales. I have a tough time managing my house. How do you manage a couple of $1 billion a year?
We have some great people at the Ohio Lottery, and I have to tell you, when I came, and I've only been there about 9 months now, terrific people on board already who know what they're doing. They've been experts at it. They've been doing it for years. And of that $2.4 billion, about 60 cents out of every dollar goes to the players for prizes. So when you play the Ohio Lottery, you know that you have a good chance. We have winners all over the state. 29 cents goes to the schools. And about 6.1 cents goes to our retailers, the people who sell the lottery tickets all over the state. And we operate the lottery on 4.9 cents out of every dollar. So that's a pretty lean.
Yeah, that really is
operation.
when you think about it. I was trying to add it up in my head as you were giving me those numbers, and that comes out to about 100%.
That's about what we make a game. 4.9 cents. That's about right.
Well, they don't overpay the staff. Let me tell you that.
No, I'm sure they don't.
But we're not complaining because it's great to be part of it. And we're just, it's a great deal for the state of Ohio. It's been a great thing since 1974. We put over close to $17 billion into the education system in Ohio.
Terrific.
So. Now, what's your favorite game? Are you probably not allowed to play, are you?
I am not allowed to play. But we've got some great games. I know that people hear about the big jackpot games. Our instant games are great. We've got an Ohio jackpot game called Classic Lotto.
How much can you win on that?
You can win up to, if the jackpot keeps rolling, it was up to over $8 million a few weeks ago. I don't know who needs more than $8 million.
Well, I know all my friends here are greedy. They want that big old super lotto. They want the most they can possibly win.
Swing and a miss, and no throw down to second. So a stolen base for Drew Stubbs, his team leading ninth.
I like the way you look at it. Who needs more than 8? I'll take $8 million and move aside and won't do anything else, but most people want a lot more.
So look at those Ohio games as well as the bigger, the Powerball and the Mega Millions.
Right.
So those are great games too, but you can win a lot.
Your odds are a little better though with the Ohio games.
Your odds are a little better with the Ohio games, and our instant games they are very good games, and the payouts are good.
Just wide of the mark, foul at third. And so Orlando Cabrera will come back and try again. Reds have tied the game here in the third inning. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. And Orlando Cabrera at the plate after he just missed doubling down the line.
Not by much. That couldn't have been about an inch or two foul, as Larry Vanover lets you know it.
So Westbrook, after 40 pitches so far on the night, and the 1-2 turn, nothing doing at second base. Right field, Chu, right there to make the grab, and that's out number 2. We're visiting with Kathy Burke, director of the Ohio Lottery. You were talking about the number of different games. The Mega Millions, it's interesting. We travel around so much. I see Mega Millions billboards in other cities. How many states does that drawing alone encompass?
We are now, I think it's up to about 40 states.
Wow.
A big thing happened earlier this year, which is that the states that used to only have Powerball now can sell Mega Millions, and the states that used to only have Mega Millions can sell Powerball. So that's how we got into Powerball, and that's why the other states are now selling Mega Millions. So used to be you'd have to go out of state to play one or the other. You don't have to do that anymore, which is nice because players love those games.
Sure, people would pool their money and send somebody, hey, go on over the border. You drive today and pick us up some tickets.
Don't have to worry about that anymore.
No.
I always think it's neat when you get, 10, 15, 20 guys at a factory all go in together and buy that lottery ticket. Every once in a while they win.
Yeah.
They do win, and it's amazing. I was out in Toledo last week and met our first $1 million Powerball winners. Great couple, and not too many years ago they had won $30,000 in the lottery. So that was a very lucky couple. Now he's retired from the Ford plant, and they have lots of money to enjoy their retirement on.
Well, that's beautiful. You wouldn't retire if you won, though, would you? You'd continue to do this.
No, yeah, we'd have to.
Yeah. There's no question. So we'll pull our
We've
money
already
up.
won the lottery.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the way we look at it.
2-1 pitch. High drive center field. Crow backpedaling, and he's got it. Kathy, thanks for stopping by.
Great
to meet
you
you
so much.
Kathy Burke, director of the
Kathy,
Ohio Lottery, with us here tonight. Indians and Reds tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the third. Then Trevor Crow and Shin-Soo Choo. Bronson Arroyo misses outside for ball 1. The 1-0 and missed up high. And he painted the outside corner at the knees. Perfect pitch right there. Up and in. And now a good count for Donald. 3 balls and a strike. Jason Donald, who had a base hit in each of his first 2 big league at bats. But a tough go of it since then, 0 for his last 9. Fisted, and the first baseman Votto has it. Time now for our Subway fresh face of the game. Bo Greenwell, 3 for 5. Couple of runs scored. He's 4th in average in the Midwest League. Tied for 3rd, runs batted in. And leads the league in runs scored. Bo Greenwell. That's our Subway fresh face of the game. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Trevor Crow, round out to the second baseman in his first at bat. Bronson Arroyo's got that sidearm.
Well, that big high leg kick when you're coming from the full windup, where he gives you some arm and legs, and a lot of pitchers don't do that much anymore. Where that hitter, could maybe distract him a little bit.
Line foul on the right side by Crow.
Usually the first time through the lineup, hitters hitting 191 off Arroyo. And they were 2 for 8 first time through, 250. It goes up to 254 the second time through. So we'll see and check and see if they can make an adjustment.
Straight up. And on the infield, Scott Rowland, the third baseman, calling for it, and he makes the catch. 2 down.
Well, the battle for the Ohio Lottery Cup continues tomorrow when the Reds will play the middle game of that series. You can celebrate the state with an autograph session featuring Olympic women's hockey silver medalist and Ohio native Kelly Stack, and Brianna McLaughlin. Plus, all fans will be treated to a newly added post-game fireworks show tomorrow night. 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Shin-Soo Choo takes a strike.
Well, it's been a pair of solo homers for the scoring in this ball game, and Choo hit his first one in over a month. Got a fastball down there, looked like, and gave it a ride.
And the 1-2 delivery is a rocket into right field. And I like this new two-hole hitter we found here.
Well, no kidding. So he likes it so far as well. Another line drive off the bat of Choo.
The Indians' number 2 hitters had been 1 for their last 17 coming into
and
tonight's
plus,
game.
when you say number 2 hitters, the bulk of it's been Grady Sizemore. When you talk about that number 2 hitter, there's a fastball he turns on, little four-seamer. And Grady's knee, it was bad all year. He just wasn't able to do anything. He didn't hit a home run. The time he did, it was rained out.
Right.
So he just got off to a slow start, and Manny hasn't had any production in that spot.
But even since Grady's been out of the lineup in the last 4 games, he hasn't found the right combination either. So,
well, you had a couple of kids in there. Why not move
if this
it?
Works.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, I guess in a perfect world, you want your best hitters in those RBI production spots. But, hey, if Choo is one of your best hitters, why not get him up there
Get him more
as
at
early
bats.
as possible?
I agree.
Travis Hafner looks at a ball outside. Hafner a ground out to first base his first time up. Hafner's hit in 8 straight games. And Arroyo has fallen behind 2-0.
Usually hitters, when they get to this count, they're 500 off him when he gets into a 2-0 count. So now you can pretty much, shrink that zone a little bit, look for a pitch, and make him locate it. And you're hoping that he tries it in your zone. He didn't give in. He threw that slow, wrapping, breaking ball.
.30 pitch. Hafner hits it high in the air to center. Drew Stubbs is there, and the inning is over. 3 complete from Progressive Field. Indians and Reds tied at 1. Brook leads off inning number 4 with a pitch to Joey Votto that's down low. That guy is ready for the Ohio Lottery Cup battle.
He's ready for the rubber room.
Swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. He's got a good seat, though. Joey Votto tapped back to the mound his first time up. You got neon hat guy and crazy glasses guy right over Joey Votto's shoulder. 1-1 pitch. Outside. 2 balls and a strike to count on Votto. Threw it by him. Looked like he was late on the swing. Votto comes into tonight's game leading the Reds in hits, total bases. I mentioned earlier he leads the team in homers and ribbies.
He's got a really smooth swing, a left-hander. He uses the whole field. He has power. He can go to left center field. Had some problems and issues last year. Spent a lot of time on the DL, and they missed him. I mean, this is a guy, you plug him into that number 3 or 4 hole, and he's pretty solid. And this team missed him last year when he was not a part of it.
The payoff pitch. And it's low. So Jake Westbrook walks the leadoff man for Cincinnati here in the 4th. Time now for the AT&T trivia question. AT&T Rethink Possible, who has the most 30-plus home run seasons in Reds history. Is it George Foster?
I don't know.
Runner goes, and a pitch is fouled back by Rowland.
They're starting off. They're trying to get that running game going. They're not sitting back waiting. Westbrook now, with that stolen base given up in the 3rd inning, runners are 5 for 6 off him. Or excuse me, they caught Phillips in the 1st, so make that 5 for 7.
In the air, center field. Crow will make the catch for out number 1.
Well, the fans attending tomorrow night's game will have the opportunity to purchase several autographed items and tribe treasures at silent auction presented by the Indians Wives Association. The auction will take place in the concourse behind Section 153 during the game, and proceeds will benefit Wives Association organizations, which focuses on women and children.
Runner goes. Pitch outside. Throw down. Not in time. Good jump for Votto. And that's his 5th stolen base of the year. He really had a good jump. Perfect jump. Good throw by Marson. But give a tip of the cap to Votto for getting the good first step off Westbrook. And now the 1-0 to Jay Bruce is a called strike. Bruce flied to center his first time up. Jay Bruce has hit in 5 of his last 7 games, 11 of his last 14. Back out of play. Jay Bruce is still only 23 years old.
Right, another young player.
And he's already homered twice in a game, 6 times.
Well, when you look at the Reds, I mean, they're homegrown number 1 guys. In the last 6 years, Homer Bailey was 04. He's on the ball club. Jay Bruce was 05. He was a 12th overall. Drew Stubbs playing center field today. And also Mike Leake, who's a pitcher. He pitched yesterday. We won't see him in this series, possibly when we get to Cincinnati. But, they have an impact on this, and that's their number 1 picks, where they're getting their own players to the big leagues. I think that's the key to turning around an organization.
1 on, 1 out. And the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Really good changeup from Westbrook. His second strikeout, 2 down.
That's a pitch that he never had before, the surgery. I mean, he had a changeup, but nothing like this. I mean, it's turning out to be an outstanding pitch for him. I don't know. He said he was holding it maybe a little bit differently. He saw how Santana held his. More off the fingertips instead of deeper in the grip, and it really had some good downward action. It's been a very good pitch for Jake.
Oh, do we have some raindrops?
I don't know, but the sun's starting to come out. It's as bright as we've seen today.
These folks look like they're ready to go over the falls in a barrel. Well, there's a few stray raindrops falling. 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Jonny Gomes. A season-high 7-game hitting streak coming in. He signed a 1-year contract, as Rick told you, back on February 22nd. So technically, spring training was really already underway. And the Reds went out and inked him for, I believe it was less than $1 million. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-2 the count. This guy's already served 2 suspensions for coming to the aid of his fellow players or mixing it up on the field. I mean, he's not going to back down from a challenge.
Well, that's good for him. I remember the one with Tampa Bay was against the Yankees in spring training.
Yeah.
Sure it was.
You knock one of our guys down, we're going to knock one of your guys down. 2-2 pitch. Down low, full count.
This is the 4th full count now for Westbrook this evening.
He's at 63 pitches on the night. So quite a few already for Jake, only in the 4th inning. Payoff pitch. And Gomes fights it off.
Here's a guy, Gomes, though. He doesn't get cheated. He doesn't leave it in the bag. He goes out there. He's a all or nothing, but he's hitting 300,
yeah,
which is the amazing thing because he gets up there and he swings hard every time.
He's got 6 multi-hit games.
You know, they play in a good offensive ballpark, do the Reds. They're a 500 team on the road at 9-9, 14-9 back home.
Again, it's fouled away by Gomes.
They average over 5 runs a ball game at home, about 4.5 on the road. They hit for a better average by 25 points. And they average more than a homer a game at home, which you can understand because you know how that ball flies down there. And it hasn't even started to get warm yet, folks. By the time we get down there for June, we usually see a few home runs in that ballpark.
Go ahead, run at second base here in the 4th inning. And the payoff pitch. High drive, deep left field, and Kearns is going to wave goodbye. Way up into the bleachers for Jonny Gomes, his 6th home run of the year. RBIs number 26 and 27. And the Cincinnati Reds jump out to a 3-1 lead.
Well, like I said, all or nothing, and he got it all right there. That is the 47th home run, 48th home run by Cincinnati. And a 2-run shot, and that's how they've scored today. Watch him bring his hands in here in a missed location. A high flat sinker by Westbrook. Gomes brought the hands in, and there's no doubt there. That's about over halfway up the bleachers.
Laynce Nix homered his first time up, takes a strike. There's a drive the other way, deep to left, and again it's up, and it's off the top of the fence. Into second base with a stand-up 2-out double is Laynce Nix, and he just missed his 2nd home run of the night. So the Reds taking some big swings off Jake Westbrook here in the 4th inning.
He just missed his 2nd home run, going the opposite way. Played nicely by Kearns to get it in, but that's 4 hits now, 3 of them extra bases, the 2 home runs and that double right there.
Ryan Hannigan grounded to short in his first at bat. Hannigan with 16 ribbies, as you see there, already a new career high. 2 balls, no strikes, and the pitch count really piling up on Westbrook. He's up to 70 now here in the 4th inning.
I'm going to send along birthday wishes tonight. Agatha Kenzel of Euclid turning 94 today. Agatha, happy birthday to you. Bob Goldsmith of Conneaut also turning 92. Marilyn Rolko of Westlake is 68. Happy birthday to you all.
Here it's a 2-1 count to Ryan Hannigan with a runner at second and 2 down. And a base hit in the left field. Coming around third, Laynce Nix wave home. Kearns throw to the plate, not in time. It's a 3-run 4th inning for Cincinnati, and they now lead it 4-1. Ryan Hannigan with his 17th run batted in on the year. And 3 straight 2-out hits for the Reds off Jake Westbrook here in the 4th.
Upstairs in the strike zone. That's the breaking ball. We saw a high sinker for the home run for Gomes, and there's another high breaking ball, and Westbrook realizes that, and he made it a point. There's times where the location for him, he's really struggled. He's a guy that has to stay down in the zone. He knows that. He's been doing that the last couple games, but tonight he is upstairs and suffering. Yesterday we got a chance to see Mitch Talbot, who was up in the strike zone and then didn't have his command.
It probably has no bearing that Jake Westbrook had a complete game in his last time out. But I think it's at least worth mentioning if possibly there's a correlation that, he went the distance last time out. If maybe that has an effect on your next outing when you're still coming back.
It shouldn't have, because he says he's strong and he's healthy. Now remember, I wasn't really checking to see the velocity he's throwing at tonight. He was at 91 in his last start, where a few starts before that he was up to about 94.
Drew Stubbs, number 9 hitter. There's that 91-mile-an-hour fastball, so that's about where he wants to be.
It is where he wants to be, but you know what? Another thing, too, you look at this umpire behind the plate, Mark Carlson. I don't know if he's a low ball umpire or not, but Westbrook is now being forced to elevate the ball if he wants to throw strikes.
Back to the mound, Jake with a little bobble, throws him out, and the inning is over. But Cincinnati erupts for 3 here in the 4th, all scored after 2 are out. And themselves down 3 runs. Austin Kearns, Russell Brandon, Jonny Peralta for the Tribe. Kearns, little tapper back to the mound his first time up. Now he sends Rowland to the line behind the bag. What a throw!
Wow.
What a throw by Scott Rowland to retire Kearns for out number 1 here in the 4th inning.
What a play. He realized he was going to have to put some air underneath that to get it all the way to first base. His momentum going across the line over there at third. That is a big league play right there. Beautifully done. I mean, it was just fair. Now he knows I've got to get air underneath it to throw right on the money. Votto stretches out. Beautiful play by Scott Rowland. And that's a big man. That's not a little guy right there, and he's an excellent. He's a Gold Glover many times over.
He is. It was one of those trades that when they made it, I kind of scratched my head like, I wonder why the Reds trading for Scott Rowland. I mean, he's not a young guy. He's in the twilight of his career, 35 years old, played a long time, as Rick mentioned. Started out with the Phillies, been with the Cardinals, a couple of years in Toronto. But, man, he came over, and what he's done is he's given him that veteran presence.
Yes,
and
he certainly has.
I think we talk about leadership, and sometimes that may be overblown, but he leads by example. He gives him that, like I said, that presence. A guy who's been around, done a lot of things in his career.
Walt Jocketty knows him and has had him before when he was around in St. Louis. And this guy, he's a leader, without a doubt. Terrific player. He had shoulder issues and problems before. Had some issues with Tony La Russa as well. But he went into Toronto and played well over there. They liked him over on that ball club. And I think that's why Walt Jocketty wanted him over in Cincinnati, felt that they needed some of that presence in that clubhouse.
And the 2-2 pitch to Branyan. Weekly hit to first. Easy play for Votto. He'll flip it over to Arroyo, and that's out number 2. On this date in 2006, Grady Sizemore against the Pittsburgh Pirates, a walk-off game-winning hit. That's our legendary performance, brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains. Two down now for Johnny Peralta, who hit into a double play his first time up. Popped him up. Backing up Cabrera. 1-2-3 go the Indians here in the 4th inning. And it's Cincinnati 4, Cleveland 1. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by McCafe Frappes. Caramel or mocha blended with a hint of coffee and ice. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By KeyBank. Stop in and start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's. Visit PaninisGrill.com for a list of new locations. For 1, Reds on top. Jake Westbrook misses for ball 1 to the leadoff man, Orlando Cabrera. He's 0 for 2. He has flied to left and flied to right tonight. This is right center field, and that's plugged. Cabrera going for a double. And he'll be in easily with a leadoff 2-bagger. Westbrook coming off a 29-pitch 4th inning. And he's already got a runner in scoring position to start the 5th.
Everything's elevated, belt high for Jake tonight. I mean, I hate to keep saying it. Well, when he's pounding that strike zone down, a lot of times he's not getting a called strike. Yeah. And, he's forced to maybe pick that sinker up a little bit. And if it flattens out, that's why they have 4 extra base hits, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 2 singles. Singles are going to get there. But he's been living by the ground ball. And this is about the pitch count where it starts going haywire on him, or it has, at least to this point this year. Well, Brandon Phillips had a little topper for an infield single in the 1st inning. Flied to center his last time up. He tried to bunt, and he didn't put that one in play. One again. Phillips thought about a bunt, took it for a strike, and now he's down on the count 1-2. I think that might tell you a little something about Brandon Phillips and where his confidence is at right now, swinging the bat, that he'd even be trying to bunt right here. Thinking about a bunt, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. You have a 3-run lead. You're in the middle part of the game. Go ahead and try and get him out, get it over the right side, and drive him in.
Instead, he rolls it to short, and that's out number 1.
When we were talking about the location for Jake Westbrook tonight, watch the elevation. There's the home run, high sinker. Another pitch up in the zone, off the wall. There's the high breaking ball. That goes for a base hit and an RBI, and then you're going to see the Cabrera double. Everything is up and elevated, and that's not where Jake Westbrook pitches.
Well, I guess if you want to flip it over, Rick, and look at it from the Reds' perspective, if you're former Indian Brooke Jacoby, what are you telling your guys? Make them bring the ball up.
That's exactly right. Yeah, for sinker ball pitchers or guys down there, as a hitting coach, you just say, hey, make them get it upstairs. If it starts around here, just above your knees or mid-thigh, take it because it's going to sink below the strike zone. And fortunately, they have an umpire tonight that's not calling a low strike.
0-1 pitch, and this is roped to right field. Chu will play it on the hop. Into third base goes Cabrera. He'll hold there. And you've got Cincinnati Reds runners at the corners with only one out. Aaron Laffey heating in a hurry in the bullpen. And Scott Rowland 0 for 2 tonight will be the batter.
You know, isn't it something where, you know, you get used to it. There's a ball that stays middle. And, I mean, down there, and you see a good swing by Votto. You know, you get used to it because the guys that have been pitching yesterday, Mitch Talbot, and today, Jake Westbrook, they go out there and they keep you in ball games. But now it's getting a little out of control. Yesterday's game got out of hand early. And today's is getting there into the middle part of the game. And that's something that you count on. And when you don't get it and you're not scoring many runs, it's tough. Tough combination.
Five hits in the last 7 batters for Cincinnati. Zeroing in on Jake here as he fires a strike to Rowland to even that count at 1-1. Jake looking for that patented double play ball. Votto stole a base in the 4th inning, so he could take off here again. And he tried to steal with Rowland at the plate in the 4th inning. And Rowland never really gave him a chance. He was swinging away. Boy, good pitch. Didn't get the call. And now it's 2-1. Reds on top 4-1. We're in the 5th inning. Westbrook teetering right now on the brink. Fouled on a play. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Laffey ready in the Tribe pen. Jake knows he's running out of time here.
You know, he needs one of his routine ground ball double plays is what he could use.
Runner goes. Swung out and missed. Throw down to second base. And a good stop by Valbuena. If that gets past him, the Reds definitely grab another run. But there are now 2 down in the inning with Reds at 2nd and 3rd. Joey Votto with his 2nd stolen base of the night. And he now has 6 on the year.
Yeah, and there's the pressure. I mean, Marston's been throwing the ball very well, but not much you can do here. They've got that runner at 3rd base. It was a nice play by Valbuena to keep him there. They could have easily came back and tried to score another one.
Jay Bruce 0 for 2. 3 on the right side of the infield for Cleveland. And the pitch pushes him off the plate. You see the defensive alignment for the Tribe. Peralta has to stay somewhat close to the bag at 3rd with that runner over there. Otherwise, he'd be pushed over more towards shortstop. Good pitch by Jake Westbrook right there, and that evens the count now at 1-1. Could be a turning point in the game right here. 1-1 pitch. And again, that good changeup had him out in front. 90 pitches on the night for Westbrook. If he can get out of this jam, maybe it provides a lift to the Indians. Cincinnati, meanwhile, looking for a decisive blow right here. And the 1-2 pitch. Sailed wide on him. Again, the 2-2. Two on, two out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now the count goes full. And this will be the 20th pitch of the inning. You see, though, with it doesn't have to be a gigantic strike zone, but it's a little tighter tonight, just a little bit tighter. You get a lot more pitches. And now the payoff pitch. And it's weakly hit to first. Branyan with the flip. And Westbrook gets out of it. Nice job by the Indians' right-hander. Reds still lead at 4-1. Good effort to get out of the top half of this 5th inning. Leadoff double. 1-out single at Reds at 2nd and 3rd, but Westbrook got a strikeout and a ground out to get out of it. Now let's see if the Indians' offense can respond. 4 straight have been retired by Bronson Arroyo. He's only allowed 3 hits so far. One of them a solo homer to Shin-Soo Choo in the 1st inning. Luis Valbuena walked in his first trip to the plate. 1-1 the count. Lou Marson to follow, then Jason Donald here in the 5th. And Arroyo will have this in his mitt. Makes the easy play at first. And we've got 1 quick out. Let's have a look at our 5-star league leaders brought to you by the GMC Sierra. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. Reds, went through a stretch there, about 10, 12 games where they didn't make an error.
They had 11 games where they did not make an error, and they only allowed 7 earned runs. You look at Minnesota. Minnesota's got 9 errors on the year. And those teams that have allowed the fewest earned runs, Minnesota has allowed 4 unearned runs. They're in first place. Cincinnati, 7. They're right a half a game behind St. Louis. You've got Philadelphia giving 8 and Tampa Bay allowing 10. So, those teams that have allowed the fewest earned runs are all at the top of the heat.
th pitch of the night for Arroyo. And it's 3-0 to Lou Marson. Well, more base runners, more pressure. If you're not giving them extra outs and you're not putting your pressure, on your pitcher, you're going to have more success.
Extra outs. I mean, when you give good teams outs, they find a way to take advantage of them.
Good pitch. He's come back to run the count full after falling behind 3-0. (3-2) to Marson. And it's ball 4. That's the second walk issued by Bronson Arroyo tonight. And a 1-out base runner for Jason Donald. Every time the Indians homer this year, we raise money for the Gathering Place, which helps individuals and families battling cancer. Great Clips donates $50 per dinger. Rick and I are each chipping in $5 per homer. Over $1,400 raised so far this year. Log on to touchedbycancer.org to make a donation or to simply learn more about the Gathering Place. Here's Jason Donald. He popped up to first in his first at bat, and he, like Marson, had himself in a good hitter's count. And I don't know if he was overly aggressive or if he just got fooled by the pitch, but he got jammed on 3-1.
Well, he's probably looking fastball and, just figured he's going to go ahead and swing and, not recognize it, that wasn't his spot. He was looking fastball but wasn't looking in. and jammed himself.
Donald asks for time, and it's granted by the home plate umpire as he steps back.
I want to finish up our birthdays. We've got Dale Bradley of Menor turning 58 today, and Ed Zagantz of Westerville, 61. Happy birthday, Dale and Ed. And want to send out a special hello to Don Dukovic, who is in University Hospital. So, Don, we hope you're doing fine.
4-1 Reds lead it. Indians batting bottom of the fifth. Runner goes. Topper to third. Rollins' only play is at first. And that's out number 2 with Marson in the scoring position. And we'll turn it over now to the top of the order and Trevor Crowe, who is 0 for 2 tonight. When you talk about a hitter jamming himself, now is that a case where a guy's looking for a ball in a certain spot in the strike zone and he puts the same swing on it regardless of where the ball ends up?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, if you're looking away for a fastball and you get one in, you better not swing. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. If you're looking for a fastball anywhere, it's one thing. But when you get to 3-1, you can be a little more, forgiving. You're going to tighten up your strike zone a little bit and look in one location. There's a number of ways you can jam yourself as a hitter. And young hitters are more aggressive. They'll end up swinging. They're just looking for the baseball a lot of the times, and they're going to swing no matter what, thinking that the guy's going to throw him a strike. Now it'll go from there to, all right, I'm not just going to, I'll look away for a pitch, a fastball away, and if it's not there, then I won't swing. It all depends on how you cut it down and how you simplify it.
I'm sure it rarely, if ever, happened to you, but if on that rare occasion that you jammed yourself,
oh, God.
Would you walk back to the dugout saying, man, I got myself out there, or would you say the pitcher made a good pitch?
No, young guys, you give a lot of at-bats away. It happens to every hitter in the game regardless. That you get yourself out, you're thinking, I said I wasn't going to swing at that pitch, and you do. And, I mean, it's an ongoing process. It's not an easy thing to do, hit a baseball.
Well, you have.
And some of these guys, they've never faced this guy before, so you're going out there and, you may see something differently.
That's the thing. You have maybe a second to
Not
2
even.
seconds to
No.
even think about what you're going to do.
Half a second.
Once the ball comes out of his hand, I'm not going to swing, and then something jumps in there, and you end up swinging
You wait
anyway.
2 seconds, it'll be by you. And most hitters.
That's why I couldn't hit.
Yeah, most hitters. Yeah, you were saying 1,001, 1,000. Oops, it's by me. Now, you have to recognize it. And, you're going to make mistakes. It's just plain and simple. It's a game of failure to begin with. In hitting, if you can succeed at 30% of the time.
Well, Trevor Crowe's got himself a full count, as Bronson Arroyo is just past the 70-pitch mark here this evening. Aaron Laffey will be coming on for the Indians when we go to the 6th inning. But Arroyo working with a 3-run lead. Indians have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And if Crowe gets aboard, Shin-Soo Choo, already 2 for 2 tonight, would be next. So potentially a good spot for the Tribe, even though there are 2 out right here. Arroyo taking a long time. Now he's ready. Slow curve. Crowe yanks it deep right field. It's over the head of Bruce. Hits low against the wall. Crowe heading for second base. In to score is Marson. And Trevor Crowe with an RBI 2-out double makes it a 4-2 ball game. Crowe's first double and his 5th run batted in on the year.
Well, he picked on a nice hanging breaking ball right there to get his first extra base hit, his first double. But a big base hit, 2-out double, mind you, and he hustled all the way out of the batter's box. Watch the big hanging curveball. Boom, he pulled the trigger on it, and it speeds up his bat, and he's able to pull it. So that'll score Marson. Crowe gets down into scoring position, cuts the lead in half. It's now 4-2.
And now Chu drives the ball deep right field. Bruce running out of room, and it's gone! Shin-Soo Choo with a 2-out, 2-run homer ties the game at 4. His second home run of the night. And Chu has driven in 3 of the 4 runs for the Tribe. And that 2 spot in the order suits him just fine.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is the one guy you don't want to beat you, Chu, but he's 3 for 3 tonight. And he's got 2 home runs, and he hits just like he knows what's coming. Gets that sidearm breaking ball right into the wheelhouse of Chu. That ball got out of here in a hurry. A line drive. That guy had his glove. He caught it, didn't even know he had it. It bounced up off the cement out there into his glove, and we got a brand new ball game. The Indians come back with their own 3 spot on the board here in the 5th. Now the long ball. You get back into the ball games by the long ball, and it's been Chu.
Travis Hafner takes a strike. Now, that's the interesting thing. I just got handed this note about Chu. That's his 3rd career 2-homer game. And Chu's still a young player. But I talked earlier about Jay Bruce, who already has 6 multi-homer games in the league. He's 23 years old. That gives you a little perspective on how good Bruce is, and obviously we know how good Shin-Soo Choo is. And right now in that 2-hole, he's been instant offense for the Indians tonight. There is Jay Bruce. The 0-2 up high. Pronk is grounded to first, and he has flied to center. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Publicly, Manny Acta would never take credit or pound his chest, but I wonder, and you and I have never managed the game, but I wonder if you're down there in the dugout, you think, that's a pretty smart move on my part, putting him in that 2-hole.
No, he's not thinking that way at all. He's just thinking finally something to generate some offense. That's all he wants to do. He wants to generate some offense and say, let's go. I'm sure a lot of talk goes into it.
There's a bouncing ball fair down the left field line, and Travis Hafner crosses him up. He's going for 2. The throw-off line, and Pronk in with a 2-out double. 3 straight extra base hits for the Indians off Bronson Arroyo after 2 men were out here in the 5th inning.
The Indians coming up with some of their own 2-out magic, and Pronk just goes the other way. I think this might have been a fastball away. They wanted inside. He missed his location by well over a foot. Once he gets it by rolling, I was glad to see he was aggressive and go for that double, because as a left-handed left fielder, you've got to spin and throw, turn the other way. You know what I'm saying? You can't backhand it and go. And it's tough to make an accurate throw when you're turning a 360. So that was worth the gamble. He gets into second base for Hafner, his 7th double. Well, and to me, it looks like, as I saw Laffey out there getting loose, if they could get another run here, Westbrook went his 5 innings. I wonder if they'll just take him out.
Oh, I got to believe he's done the way Laffey was warming.
Right.
Meanwhile, this is pitch number 80 all of a sudden for Bronson Arroyo, who was cruising along before running into trouble with 2 outs here. And now Austin Kearns 0 for 2. Chops it foul.
Well, I told you, his batting average goes up as you go through the lineup. The second time, it's usually 254. Well, they were 1 for 8 the second time. They were better the first time through. But they're 3 for 3 going through it that third time through. And normally it's a 286 average. So they have made the adjustment tonight.
Austin Kearns was robbed of a hit his last time up on a terrific play by Scott Rowland at third. 1 ball, 1 strike. We are tied at 4, bottom of the 5th inning. And the 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, nicely stopped by Hannigan. He gets a new baseball.
Ryan Hannigan has been the personal catcher for Bronson Arroyo this year, much like Mike Redmond has been Caramona's.
The 2-1. Boy, Austin was trying to put the
That's
drive
all right,
on top.
man. He got to change it, but he let it fly. He didn't get caught in between.
That's what you like to
yeah,
see.
when you get the count in your favor, this is the kind of swing you want to see. You take a chance at hitting that ball and hitting it hard somewhere with authority. And that was a swing for it. You know what? You swing and miss, so what? It's now 2-2. You get another pitch. One more pitch to live by. Now you'll cut it down a little bit and not try and go deep. Just put the ball in play and drive in that run from second.
And it's fouled back out of play. So good at bat for Kearns here as he fights a few off from Bronson Arroyo, whose next pitch will be number 85 on the night. And there you see Kearns he's been productive, period. It doesn't matter what stat we put up there. He's been good at driving in runs.
Yes, he has. It's been nice protection there in that number 4 hole from a guy that you never thought would be there. At least I didn't, coming from spring training.
It's been a 30-pitch inning for Bronson Arroyo here in the 5th. And he strikes out Kearns to end the inning. But the Indians come back with 3 2-out runs here in the 5th. And we're back to even at 4 apiece. Out of the game is SD Club Fish Oil. 1,000 milligrams, 300 count for $9.99 at any Northeast Ohio Mark's location.
So head into your nearest Mark's, where you'll find a huge selection and low prices every day.
4-4 our score as we go to the 6th inning. New ball game here at Progressive Field. And Aaron Laffey will take over on the mound as Jake Westbrook went 5 innings here tonight. But I'm going to tell you one thing as you look back on. I said at the time, could be a turning point of the game. Reds had 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Westbrook got out of it without allowing the Reds to get that hit to maybe break the game open. So give him a tip of the cap for that at least.
Well, you're right. Minimize that damage that was done, and he certainly did that. But he's going to turn it over to Laffey now in the 6th inning. Indians striking with a big inning, a 3-run inning, coming with 2 outs. Crow got that going, and once that first guy gets that 2-out base hit, it seems to take a little pressure off everybody else.
Aaron Laffey's had a tough time coming out of the bullpen of late. Let's see if he can turn things around here this evening. First pitch is outside to Jonny Gomes for ball 1. Gomes belted a 2-out, 2-run homer his last time up. Pitch is outside 1-1. Rick Grant Greiser checking in with us tonight on Facebook from Toledo, Ohio, says raining like cats and dogs in Toledo, so hopefully that rain stays away.
Well, make sure you don't step in those poodles.
Oh, man, was that bad. Ooh, wow.
Well.
Dusty Baker's club, he's got the toothpick working.
As always.
He jumped out to the early lead. They were up 4-1. But the Indians have come back to tie it. The 1-2 up high. And the count evens. One thing about the Reds, especially as we get toward the later innings, they've been involved in more one-run games than any team in baseball. 17 already this year.
Yes, indeed. They're familiar with that. That's a lot. I mean, they played 41 games. So just under some 40%.
They have 10 wins against 7 losses in those one-run contests, and they're a perfect 4-0 in extra innings. So they've been good at winning the games close and late. Up high, ball 4. So Aaron Laffey walks the leadoff man here in the 6th inning. And now you've got the dangerous Laynce Nix coming up. First off, our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Shin-Soo Choo's home run put the Indians on top. Jonny Gomes' 2-run shot put Cincinnati ahead 3-1, and then Chu's second home run of the night tied the game at 4 for the Indians. Long ball night. Laynce Nix homered a solo shot his first time up. Doubled and scored in his last trip to the plate. Now facing the lefty Aaron Laffey. Broken bat. Line drive right field up into the fence it goes. Coming around to third is Gomes, going to be waved home. Valbuena's relay to the plate, not in time, and the Reds come right back and take the lead 2 batters into the 6th inning.
Unbelievable. They come right back. Second straight game that Laffey, within 2 hitters, has given the lead right back.
Well, I said, for whatever reason, especially here of late, he has struggled coming out of the bullpen.
You know, the first batter's face, 10 of 18 for Laffey, and now even though he breaks a bat and shatters it, Nick still gets enough of this ball to get it down the line into the corner, and that bat shattered.
Split in half.
So they said, all right, let's be aggressive. Gomes, average runner. He ends up scoring from first base. Sneaks in there behind Marson. Here he comes, looking at the play all the way in, and scores. It's now a 5-4 lead.
Now Ryan Hannigan drove in a run his last time up.
Cincinnati with 8 hits, 5 extra base hits.
Ryan Hannigan made a little adjustment offensively at the plate as far as his hand placement is concerned, and it has translated into a much better batting average so far this year, hitting .355.
Shortening the stroke up is what he's doing, where his hands went from up here. Remember where we talked about Valbuena trying to get it off your shoulder and just get it up? That's just to shorten everything, not to get them out and to wrap around. It's to keep your hands down in the hitting area. You go from here to out front. So it's trying to shorten your swing, get your hands quicker to the baseball. You're not going to hit with more power, but you're not going to swing and miss as much either. You have much more of an opportunity to put the ball in play.
Well, Tapper to second. And what he does here is he moves the runner to third base.
That's exactly what they needed him to do. You know, you're hitting 8th in the lineup. You've got nobody out, a runner on second base. With 2 strikes, he gives yourself up a little weak ground ball, but it's effective because now you got a chance to add another run.
Well, while we have a moment, here's the answer to our AT&T trivia question. AT&T rethink possible most 30-plus homer seasons in Reds history.
How about Big Frank?
Frank Robinson going way back? There you go. 7 seasons of 30 or more.
He started
homers.
at Cincinnati. He was, are you kidding me? He was unbelievable.
Pitch outside. Drew Stubbs walked in the 3rd, tapped back to the mound in the 4th. Indians with the infield in, trying to cut down that runner at third base. Just missed outside with it. 2 balls and a strike. Now, if you're the runner at 3rd and 1 out, are you going on the ball on the ground no matter what? Or are you still reading it here?
That's the manager's call. Sometimes when you don't have speed, you have a 1-run lead. That's the manager. He may say go on contact. He's got to sign with his third base coach relaying it to you. But you're going back up to Cabrera at the end. I don't know.
There's some squeeze play, but it's fouled back.
You see, it's played differently in the National League because normally this is the pitcher spot.
Right.
And they're using the DH here. So, it may change Dusty's thinking, but it doesn't because they're trying to squeeze. I love this. You rarely see squeeze plays.
Joe Madden, it's a favorite play of his down in Tampa.
We did happen to see it, but that was a suicide squeeze where it was a safety squeeze down in Tampa. This guy was breaking.
He was running, yeah, he was coming.
So, it's different. I would say, if he wants to add on, you send Nix, and you hope he doesn't hit the ball right at somebody.
Pops it up. He won't get him home here.
No, he will not.
Peralta, the third baseman, has it. 2 down. And that will leave it up to Orlando Cabrera for Cincinnati, who is 1 for 3 with a double here tonight. Reds have the lead, though, thanks to the walk and the RBI double by Laynce Nix to open this frame.
Well, this is the third straight outing that Laffey has allowed a run. And the last time he came in, I can remember, it was
down in Tampa.
2 hitters. No, here, 2 hitters. And it was a tie game, and he surrendered the lead on 2 hitters.
Oh, I was thinking back to in Tampa when he faced Carl Crawford.
Well, that's another time, too.
Leadoff double.
Let me go back here and see.
1-0 pitch. Bloop to center and another base hit.
There you go. He picks him up.
A 2-out RBI hit for the Cincinnati Reds here in the 6th inning, and now they lead it 6-4.
Cabrera did a nice job. Picks up his teammate Stubbs right there, and when that guy gets a 2-out base hit, you're thinking, all right, no problem. Look at that, smiles all the way around. Well, he goes down. He gets a sinker. He was just trying to put it right in play. He does just that.
Brandon Phillips checks on a ball that's outside. He is 1 out of 3 tonight. Hit that off his foot. And the count 1-1.
Tonight, Cincinnati's 2-out hitting. They're 4 for 8 and 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. So they've gotten the clutch hits when needed tonight.
Laffey ready with a 1-1. And a toss to first instead. Cincinnati has gone 9-3 against Cleveland in the last 2 seasons of interleague play, and a win tonight would even up their all-time interleague series at 32 wins apiece. More importantly, coming into this game, the Indians are trying to stop a 4-game losing streak. Cincinnati, which had been red hot, they had taken over the top spot in the National League Central Division, but they had lost their last 2 games coming in. And the folks that follow the Reds were saying it's an interesting stretch of games coming up for Cincinnati.
Yes,
he went too far. He has struck him out, and the inning is over. But Cincinnati comes back with 2 runs to regain the lead, 6-4. Bottom of the 6th inning. And it will be Russell Brandon, Jonny Peralta, and Luis Valbuena for the Tribe. Brandon, 1 out of 2. He had a base hit in the 2nd inning, grounded out to first his last time up, and he ropes one to right field. Jay Bruce cuts it off, And for the second time tonight, Bruce able to hold Branyan to a long single and a leadoff single at that. Same thing happened back in the second inning.
He went down there and hit that one nicely. Kept his head down on it. Put a good swing on that ball. Branyan with his second hit tonight. The Indians now with 7. Get their leadoff man aboard. They're going to try and come right back.
Russell Branyan admitted, Rick, that offensively he feels like every hitter is trying to do it himself right now.
Well,
and you talk about that.
Way.
You want that team offensive approach where if you don't get what you're looking for, have the confidence in the next guy to do it. But right now, when everybody's struggling, everybody's trying to do it
and
themselves.
Easier said than done because they don't have a set lineup every day. It's changing. So you've got guys that are going out there trying to get base hits to stay in the lineup. And this is a lineup that hasn't played together, for any length of time. And the younger players, they don't know the pitchers. They're learning new ballparks. They're learning so many different things that it's not as easy as it sounds.
Right-hander Carlos Fisher warming in the Cincinnati bullpen as the rain begins to fall here at Progressive Field.
Well, we don't like that.
Jonny Peralta looks at a ball outside, and the count evens at 1-1. Peralta hit into a double play in the second inning. He popped up on the infield his last time up. Peralta trying to extend that hitting streak to 11 straight. And if he can do that, then the Indians have a chance to come right back in this game. Tony Sipp now loosening for the Indians. Two-one count for Peralta. And a strike is called to even the count. Bronson Arroyo at 90 pitches now on the night. He was really cruising along before he ran into some two-out trouble in the fifth inning. It was Crow with a two-out RBI double, Chu with a two-out, two-run homer. It brought the Indians back to even at 4-4, but now Cincinnati has come back to counter with two more. And they're back on top. Got him. Peralta waves at an off-speed pitch. Second strikeout for Arroyo. One down here in the sixth. Our Miller Taste Greatness moment here tonight. Shin-Soo Choo batting in the two-hole. And for the first time this year, the Indians get a home run from their number two hitter. And in fact, they get two. And Choo, a perfect 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in on the night. Unfortunately, he's not batting right here. Luis Valbuena 0 for 1 will be the hitter. One ball, no strikes. I mentioned last half inning, Cincinnati entering an interesting stretch of games for the folks who follow the Reds on a daily basis. And I think there's some nervousness because they were playing so well. They lost 2 games. Yesterday they had the late inning meltdown. They lost the game. And now they're coming into a stretch of games where they play 3 against the Indians. And granted, the Indians are not playing that well, and they've won 9 of the last 12 against Cleveland.
Right.
Then their next 2 opponents, Pittsburgh and Houston, they swept them the last time they played them. So they've got a 10-game stretch before they face St. Louis again.
So they're licking their chops thinking, okay, this is, if we're going to pick up any ground, this is the time to do it. But as we know how it goes, when you overlook anybody exactly and you don't go one day at a time, next thing you know, you're in trouble.
Cabrera snares the liner off the bat of Valbuena. And that is out, number 2. That's the old humbling effect of baseball. The minute you think, well, we'll win a bunch of games right here, get fat and happy, then the game spins you around and lands you on your head.
Reality sets in. And it doesn't matter, sure. I mean, you look at the numbers and you're saying, hey, we're playing sub-500 clubs, But the game doesn't work like that. You still have to go out there, perform, and continue your level of concentration to get through every day.
And I'm sure the players down there don't look at the schedule and say, boy, we got a bunch of easy games coming up here.
No,
we got to roll.
They don't
look at it like
Some
that.
guys don't even know the next town they're going to be honest with you.
Stay in the moment?
Yeah, well, I mean, they just don't know. Hey, where do we go after Cleveland? We do?
Somebody will tell you.
Yeah, somebody will let you know. You'll find out because someone probably has family somewhere.
Weak bouncer to second. Phillips throws out Marson. And the Indians are gone after the leadoff hit here in the 6th. Cincinnati on top, 6-4.
Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's.
Seventh inning here at Progressive Field. And Manny Acta and Tim Belcher go back to the Indians bullpen. Grab left-hander Tony Sipp.
Tony's done an outstanding job this year. Has, not allowed an earned run in his last 13 innings pitched. And just 2 runs over his last 17 appearances, covering 15 2/3 innings. So he's coming on to try and keep it a 6-4 ball game. Top half of the 7th facing Votto, Roland, Bruce. And 2 out of the 3 are left-handed hitters.
Joey Votto walked and scored in the 4th. He singled in the 5th. He has stolen 2 bases tonight. From the 7th inning on this year, Cincinnati has outscored their opponents by an 87-71 margin.
Yeah, the king of the comebacks. That's what these guys have done. Last at-bat wins. They have a ton of them.
And as you've said before, when you're coming back, you're only as good as your bullpen. So obviously they've come back to score, and their bullpen's made it stand up for the most part.
Yeah.
You'll have your hiccups here and there.
Well, that was more than a hiccup. That was a throw-up yesterday. 7 runs in the 9th. That was. I mean, that's one you've almost have in the books, isn't it? 7 run?
Yeah.
It came back. Atlanta came back from 2 8-run deficits in that ball game. So, yeah, that was more than a hiccup.
Payoff pitch.
But, we saw it last year. It happens to almost every team. Where Tampa, they came back on us from a 7-run deficit or 8-run. We came back from them from, 9 or 10. So, I mean, it happens to a lot of teams over the course of the year. It's just one that you want to forget in a hurry. And you do forget it if you continue to get back on a winning streak.
One-hop smash. Brandon knocks it down. Takes it himself, and that's out number 1. Let's go back to the studios right now for this in-game update. Here's Al Pulaski with some interleague action.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go to Target Field in Minnesota. First inning, bases loaded, no score, Dave Bush, ball 4 to Michael Kadire. He gets into an argument with the umpire. Doesn't throw him out. Maybe he should have. Bush gave up 7 in the first, never made it out of the inning. 7-0 Minnesota.
All right, Al, where you been? We missed you.
Yeah, nothing like showing up in the 7th inning,
No
huh?
kidding. You talk about the 7th inning stretch, we're going to call it the 7th inning Al.
Arthur Lee Rhodes warming in the Cincinnati bullpen. Now here's Scott Rowland 0 for 3 tonight. Right back to the screen. Almost right back into our camera lens.
There's been a couple like that today.
That went behind him. Tony Sipp trying to go inside, obviously, to Rowland. And to Rowland's credit, a lot of times, as Rick has mentioned, when that ball comes behind you, you're more than likely to back into it. But Rowland kind of froze.
Well, you do. You freeze. You know, if you jump back into it, you're going to get hit.
Now the 2-1 to Rowland. Throw it by him. Early in his career, Scott Rowland hit 20 or more homers in 8 straight seasons with the Phillies and the Cardinals. The streak was snapped in 2005 when he was limited to just 56 games with St. Louis. He came back healthy the next year and 22 homers. Down on the dirt. And the count goes full. But the power has really not come back, not to the level that you're used to seeing it with Scott Rowland. Payoff pitch. That's laced foul. Ned Yost once said of Scott Rowland, quote, he's the perfect baseball player. His tenacity, his preparation, the way he plays, he tries to do everything fundamentally sound, and he puts the team first. There's no fanfare with him. And he draws a walk here with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Well, the battle for Ohio Lottery Ohio Cup will continue on Sunday and wrap up on Sunday. It's Kids Fun Day here with our activities out on the plaza. And also exhibits from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, and Hall of Famers Leroy Kelly and Anthony Munoz will be on hand to sign autographs. 216-420-HITS.
Jay Bruce 0 for 3 tonight. Jay Bruce out of Beaumont, Texas, was the first-round pick of the Reds in 2005. Rick told you about that earlier. Back in 2004, during the summer, as a lot of high school kids will do, and even younger than that, they play in the summer league.
Right.
When he was growing up down in the Houston area, he was a teammate in that summer league team of Roger Clemens' son, Kobe. Hey, think your dad could get us some cool uniforms? One hop smash to short. There's Peralta on the shift. Goes to second for one. The relay in time as Jason Donald turns it nicely. A double play turned by the Tribe. Stretch time in Cleveland. 6-4 Cincinnati. 0 for 2 tonight. He'll lead it off for the Indians. And pops it up on the infield. Shallow right. Out goes Phillips. 1 away. Oh, he waited till the 7th inning. Now it's full court press time for Al Pawlowski. Here we go. Back again we go with another update.
Hey, only because you guys missed me so much. Let's go out to Chicago. Marlins and White Sox. Alexei Ramirez here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. That's a 2-run double. White Sox up early on the Marlins. 3-0 now as they move to the 5th inning. Back to you.
All right, here's Trevor Crowe, 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Drove in a run with that double in the 5th. And Arroyo catches the outside corner for strike 1. The 100th pitch of the night coming up for Bronson Arroyo right here. 2 wide, 2-1 the count.
Well, it was a couple of breaking balls that hurt Arroyo back in the 5th inning. It was a curveball to Crowe that he laced down the line for a double. And it was the breaking ball to Chu.
Fly ball to center field. Routine for Stubbs, 2 away. Hey, Browns fans, your kids can learn to play like the pros at the Cleveland Browns Youth Football Camp. Children ages 8 to 14 can learn the football skills they need at the Browns training facility in Berea, June 21st through the 25th. Space is limited. Log on to Browns.com. Register today. Dusty Baker will make a move to the bullpen when we come back. In 2/3 innings into the game, just over 100 pitches, gave up 2 home runs to Shin-Soo Choo tonight. And he's in line for the win if the Reds bullpen can hold on to it now. Shin-Soo Choo, the batter, and that's the reason that Arroyo was taken out of the game, because Choo has pretty much owned him tonight. Choo is 3 for 3, 2 homers, and 3 runs batted in. Choo hit a solo home run in the first inning, and then he hit a 2-out single in the third. Came back up in the 5th inning, and again with 2 outs after an RBI double by Trevor Crowe. Hit a 2-run home run to right field. So Choo has been red hot. He is perfect in the 2-hole in the Indians lineup. That's the new spot for him, and the way he swung the bat tonight, he may be there for the foreseeable future. Rain falling once again tonight here at Progressive Field. And the first pitch to Choo is in there for a strike. Choo and Hafner, should Choo get aboard. 2 left-handed hitters due up here. That's why Dusty Baker goes to the left-hander out of his bullpen.
Yeah, who's strictly a matchup guy, because this is his 19th appearance on the year, and it's covering just 16 1/3 innings. But what a job he has done. Only 6 hits, 4 walks, and has struck out 17. Opposition hitting just 115 off Arthur Rhodes, and predominantly, I'm sure, left-handed hitters.
The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. And a ground ball backhanded nicely by Cabrera, and he gets up, throws him out. A tremendous job at first base by Joey Votto. And the Indians go 1-2-3 here in the 7th inning. What a job by Cabrera for the stop. And then watch the pick by Votto, and the Indians go in order.
And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, it's a 6-4 Cincinnati lead as we go to the 8th inning. Jonny Gomes, Laynce Nix, and Ryan Hannigan for Cincinnati. Chris Perez now on for the Tribe, and he just blew it past Gomes. Perez on for the 16th time this year after Tony Sipp worked a scoreless 7th inning here tonight. Blown away. 1-1 to count. Good slider. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Rung him up with a fastball at the knees, outside corner at 95 miles an hour. Whew. Pretty good pitching from Chris Perez right there.
Well,
1 down.
Didn't mess around. Went with a fastball, slider, and comes back with paint right on the outside. Now, if you can throw your fastball there the way he pitches, my goodness. And this one was down. He's been elevating fastballs up a little bit, you know, maybe cutting underneath them. But that one, you keep it right there, Chris.
Line toward left. Back goes Kearns. 2 down. First time the Indians have retired Laynce Nix tonight. And we'll go back to the studios for another in-game update. Here's Al.
All right, fellas, let's head out to Kansas City now. The Rocks and the Royals, bottom of the 4th inning. This is the only scoring. A 2-run homer by Jose Guillen, his 10th homer of the year. Still 2-0 KC, 6th inning at Kauffman Stadium. Back to you.
6-4, Cincinnati on top here. 2 down in the 8th. Ryan Hannigan, 1 out of 3 with a run batted in. That came with 2 outs in the 4th inning. He is locked in tonight.
Yeah, he's right on the edges.
Lou Marson just going to ride that fastball outside corner all night long. It's quickly 0-2. When you're back there putting the fingers down and you quickly recognize that a guy can hit spots like that, you just say, well, we'll just ride this all night long. Let's try it again. See if he mixes in a slider here now that he's got him ahead on the count. No. He wants the express again, same spot. That time he missed his location, but it didn't matter. 1, 2, 3 go the Cincinnati Reds. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-4, Cincinnati. And for the Indians, Hafner 1 for 3. He doubled in the 5th inning. Tribe down a pair. They scored a solo run in the 1st on a homer by Chu. They scored 3 in the 5th on a 2-out RBI double and a 2-out 2-run homer. Here's Rhodes with the 0-1 pitch, and Hafner a little jam job. Be tough play. Coming in hard, though, and quickly there is Stubbs to make the grab. 1 down.
Well, you want to watch a play that ended the 7th inning. A nice play on both sides. Cabrera, the pop-up slide. Votto, the outstanding pick. A 6-3. That's about as nicely done as you will see. Kept the foot on the base. Picked it cleanly. Very nice play. And we talked about their errors. 2nd in the league. They've only made 20 on the year. And that's one reason why. You saw a nice play on both ends.
Austin Kearns with a base hit in the left field. Kearns gets his first hit on the night. And that snaps an 0 for 11 slump for Austin.
Well, he didn't waste any time. Jumped on Rhodes' first fastball. He got too much of the plate, and he drilled it past Rowland at 3rd. Hit number 8 for the Indians.
Of course, Austin has plenty of friends on this Cincinnati roster from his days in the Reds organization. Russell Brandon, 2 for 3, 2 singles. Right-hander Nick Massett warming. Pretty good chance we'll see Massett for Peralta next. Up high, ball 1. Just a few raindrops falling here at Progressive Field. Doesn't seem to be bothering the 23,028 in attendance here tonight in the first matchup between the Indians and Reds in the Ohio Lottery Cup battle this year. No TV for tomorrow night's game. It's a national TV window from 7 o'clock on tomorrow night, so we're blacked out. No television tomorrow. Rick and I will be back with you on Sunday at 1 o'clock for the series finale.
They're trying a little trial to see how prime time works.
Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be on STO Sunday at 1 o'clock. And that will be David Huff and Homer Bailey in that matchup. Tomorrow it's Carmona and Cueto at 7 o'clock here at Progressive Field. Good matchup. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out looking. 2 down. And Dusty Maker will make a move to the right-hander right here. Peralta will represent the tying run at the plate for the Indians. And we've got a timeout with Cincinnati on top 6-4. And Jonny Peralta. And the Reds go to the right-hander, Nick Massett, who comes on now for Cincinnati.
Well, leads his club in appearances now with 23. Right behind him is Cordero, and if it stays like this, I'm sure he will come in for the 9th inning. But Massett, the setup man, in his 22 appearances, he's 3-2, 732, 19 and 2/3 innings, 26 hits and 11 walks. All right, that's a lot of base runners. Tying run does come to plate, though, in Jonny Peralta. Here in the bottom half of the 8th, there are 2 outs. They have scored there are 3 runs with 2 outs today, 3 of the 4.
In the dirt. And scampering back to first was Kearns. Rain coming down a little heavier than we've seen it so far here tonight.
You have to make 100% sure that you can do it down 2 runs. Your run means absolutely nothing at first base.
Just missed outside. It's 2-0. Nick Massett was originally an 8th-round pick of the Texas Rangers, and then he went to the Chicago White Sox in 2006, along with John Danks in the Brandon McCarthy trade. Turned out to be a good one for Chicago.
Yes, it was.
And he ended up in Cincinnati when the Reds traded Ken Griffey Jr. to the White Sox.
Oh, I remember that late.
It was a deadline deal in 2008.
Yep.
So that really turned out well for Cincinnati. Massett said, the first thing I thought of was, wow, Ken Griffey Jr., are you kidding me? I got traded for a guy who was my favorite player growing up. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Runner at first, 2 down. Peralta with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Rain coming down as heavy as we have seen it so far here tonight. And the 2-2 just did get a piece of that. Keeps himself alive. Matt Laporta has a bat. Could be looking at a pinch hit appearance for Valbuena. Or possibly Marson or Donald as we get to the bottom of the order. And the 2-2 pitch. Outside, full count. Valbuena waiting on deck. Payoff pitch, runner goes. It's ball 4. So the tying run down to first with 2 outs. And Luis Valbuena will be called back for Matt Laporta, who will pinch hit here with 2 on and 2 out here in the 8th inning.
This will be his very first pinch hit appearance of the year. So far this year for Cleveland, pinch hitters 0 for 9. So they've yet to get a hit. Branyan leads the way with 3 at-bats. Then it's Gruzelanek with a couple, and then sprinkled in there just some other guys with just 1 appearance. And this is going to be the first for Matt Laporta. But you have the tying runs on base.
Folks heading for cover here at Progressive Field. We've got a fireworks show scheduled for after the ball game.
Yeah, both tonight and tomorrow. The reason why they have one tomorrow is because of the rainout they had before, so they had to bring those back and make good.
So Matt Laporta digs in, 2 on, 2 out. And it's ball 1 outside. Boy, the rain is really coming down here. The 1-0 pitch, up too high. 2 balls, no strikes. So Nick Massett struggling with his command here.
Well, I mean, and he has. I told you the number of walks. He's walked 12 guys in 19 2/3 innings and given up a ton of hits. So Laporta can sit down on a pitch he's looking for and get after it.
3 balls, no strikes. Now Lou Marson waits on deck. And looking at the Indians bench, you've got Shelley Duncan, who hasn't made an appearance yet as an Indian, but does have some big league experience. You've got Mike Redmond, of course, and Mark Grudzelanic. The 3-0 pitch to Laporta. Called a strike. Probably taken again here unless he gets something really fat.
No, tying runs are on base. Something to drive.
Fouled over the top of the Reds dugout.
Let's see where this pitch is. Boy, oh boy, that's a borderline pitch. I'm surprised he got after that one. I don't know if that would have been called a strike. That was close.
Well, now it's 3-2, and the runners will be off with the pitch as the rain pours down here at Progressive Field. Bottom of the 8th inning. The 3-2. Popped him up. Right field. Bruce makes the catch. Indians strand a pair. We go to the 9th. 6-4 Cincinnati. Down here at Progressive Field. But we're in the 9th. And we'll try to power through to get this one completed. Kerry Wood, his first appearance since the blown save Wednesday night here at Progressive Field. Mark Grudzelanic takes over at second base. And Drew Stubbs chases after it, strike 1. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Kerry Wood spent time before the ballgame talking with Dusty Baker. Of course, Dusty Baker was Kerry Wood's manager in Chicago when he played for the Cubs. And a good fastball for strike 2. Got him. 3 pitches, 1 out here in the 9th. Stay tuned after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. Rick and I will look back at all the highlights. And then after the ball game, it's Chuck's last call right here on STO. Chuck will take your calls and emails. Orlando Cabrera, a couple of hits tonight. He has doubled, singled, and driven in a run. And a slider for a first pitch strike.
Well, you see that knees buckling? I mean, when Kerry Wood has a slider, you
different
can't
pitcher.
hit him. Yeah,
different
he's
pitcher.
a totally different pitcher. There's no question about it.
Right field, Chu dashing back. Makes the catch, 2 down. And he'll bring up And we'll bring up Brandon Phillips, who's 1 for 4 tonight. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth for the Indians. Due up, Lou Marson, Jason Donald, and Trevor Crow. Brandon Phillips digs in. Fastball down low. There's a fastball belted. Deep left center. Crow on the track, looking up, and it's gone. Brandon Phillips with his 5th home run of the year. Makes it a 7-4 Cincinnati lead.
Third home run of the night by the Reds. Got a fastball here because he hit this one, and a location again. Came back inside, down and into Phillips, and he made him pay.
I mean, there's a case where he literally just took a nice easy swing, got the head of the bat out, and Kerry Wood supplied the power. Joey Votto has 1 hit tonight. Cincinnati closer Francisco Cordero. He didn't want to swing, but he did. And Kerry Wood has fanned a couple of Reds here in the ninth. But the homer by Phillips gives Cincinnati a 3-run lead as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Francisco Cordero on for the 23rd time this year. He has blown 3 saves, but 16 strikeouts and only 9 walks in his 20 innings of work. Shelley Duncan will pinch hit for Lou Marson here in the 9th inning. This will be Shelley Duncan's Cleveland Indians debut.
Well, and now in this game, he and his father Dave, who I played with here, he'll become the 6th father-son combination in Indians history, joining the Averils, Bagbys, Franconas, the Bells, and Carry-Ons.
That would have been a good trivia question right there. But
yeah,
you could have fooled a few people with that
you know
one.
what? It's the 9th, so. No, we didn't have time to go to a break and come back and get the answer. We had to give it a ask and give.
Duncan was having a good year at AAA Columbus. He's a big kid. Bouncer towards third. Rolling, coming hard. Off balance throw and dug out nicely. Joey Votto helps out his third baseman again here for out number 1 on the ninth. Our player of the game tonight is Shin-Soo Choo. What a job he did tonight for the Indians in the 2 spot. 2 homers, the 3rd time in his career. And he's hitting almost 400 at home on the season. But it's not enough. Indians down 6-4 as Jason Donald bats 0 for 3 tonight. Trying to snap an 0 for 12 slump. Donald and then Trevor Crow. Only man left on the Indians bench now is backup catcher Mike Redmond. 1-1 they count on Donald. Missed down low. And it counts 2-1. Down the right side, slicing, foul. Cordero second in the National League in saves, trailing only Washington's Matt Capps. I'm sure it was important for Dusty Baker to get him right back up on the bump after.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, he gave up the slam, but that whole bullpen gave it up yesterday when you give up 7 runs. You know, he came on a little late, but he gave up the capper, and we showed it to you in the open where it went off the glove of Nix in left field and bounced over.
Cordero only needs 4 more saves to tie Bob Wickman for 25th on the all-time save list. He strikes out Jason Donald 2 down.
There you go, knee high.
Trevor Crowe, 1 out of 4 tonight. 2-out RBI double back in the 5th. Helped bring the Indians back. They tied this game at 4-all in the 5th inning. But in the very next half inning, Cincinnati scored 2 to regain the lead. And they have never trailed since. Jam job back to the mound. The flip, and the Reds win it here tonight by a final score of 7-4. And with that win, the Cincinnati Reds have now evened the all-time interleague series with the Indians at 32 games apiece. On the year, Cincinnati goes to 24-18. The loss drops the Indians to 15-25. 10 games now below the break-even mark. So a disappointing defeat to the Indians, who lose at 7-4 after battling back to tie the game at one point at 4 apiece. But the Indians just unable to stop Cincinnati offensively as the Tribe bullpen faltering here tonight. The win goes to Bronson Arroyo. He's now 4-2 on the year. The loss goes to Aaron Laffey. And Aaron Laffey is now 0-1 on the season. Here's our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank, banking home of your Cleveland Indians.
So you come back to the 6th inning after the Indians came back to tie this game. It's a shattered bat by Nix, and he's going to get his 3rd hit of the ball game. That's a double down the right field line. Really set that inning up. And there you see he scores, and that was it. He had a whale of a day. That's going to be our KeyBank, a key play of the game.
So the battle for the Ohio Cup, Game 1 goes to Cincinnati, and we'll break it down with the highlights next on the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show.